I almost entered a relationship I didn't even want because I was afraid to say no. Ugh. There's a formula on how to say no without over-explaining yourself. It goes, say no, give context, and shut up. I'll go through 2 stories, one where I almost folded romantically, and one professional scenario where I over-explained and defended myself so much you would have thought I was on trial for murder. The romantic scenario. So I was at a restaurant with a guy friend, and he professed his undying love for me. We had been friends for years, and all of a sudden he, told me how he really felt, very brave of him. And then he looked at me like, okay, this is the part where you tell me that you secretly love me too. And my heart was racing. I was having a bajillion thoughts. And as a people pleaser, a part of me wanted to be like, yes, I love you too. Let's go right off into paradise together. But I was like, no, that's not exactly what I want to say. So I took a beat and I said, I'm gonna go to the restroom. And I went to the restroom to collect my thoughts. Now, I just wanna pause here. This is so important. As a people pleaser, if you feel yourself in a stressful situation where you feel your old self coming in and wanting to over-explain or please the person in front of you, take a beat, take a pause, leave them on the edge of their seats. It doesn't matter. What matters is you conduct yourself in a way that you respect yourself. So I took a beat, I went to the bathroom, I come back, and I looked him in the eyes and told him, hey, although I've had feelings for you and have had a crush on you before, you just told me how you're coming out of a toxic relationship, you're still going back and forth with your ex, and your life is chaos. Unfortunately, I don't want to, hitch my wagon to that ship. And I still respect you, and I still validate that there's some chemistry between us. But at the end of the day, I can't feel good about myself walking into a relationship that I know is unstable, especially since I've put in so much work to make myself stable. And I said that. And you know what? He heard me, he respected me, and we were able to maintain the friendship. So I bring this to your attention because I took time to think about what I actually wanted to say, which was no, but I did give him more context about the reason I said no without going into full over-explaining mode. I could have said, you haven't made your 5-year life plan, and I noticed that you have problems with your brother, and he comes in and out of your life, and will that disrupt us if we were together? I could have said so many things, and sometimes people pleasers like to over-explain every little single detail in their head to a person. And the truth is, all you have to do, say no, give some context to validate the other person, to maintain the relationship, and then shut up. So that is that story. So this next scenario is a professional scenario where I actually over-explained, and this is an example of what not to do. So one time I was asked to do a stand-up comedy show that was 2 hours away from me in the ghetto, 10 p.m. at night on a Wednesday, and for no pay. Woo! Exciting! And I didn't want to do it for all of those reasons, really. But the producer, he asked me if I wanted to do this in Instagram, in the DMs. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, if I say no to this, he's gonna think I'm not a real artist or I'm not really committed. So I'm just gonna tell him all the reasons why I don't wanna do this gig. And I told him, I was like, I work a 9-to-5 commission-based job, and if I show up and my head's not in the game, then I can't make money because it's solely commission-based, and it's actually very far out, and that's actually gonna cost me money, and I just don't feel like in a place where I can stretch myself financially. And I wrote this whole paragraph of a message as to why I couldn't do the gig, and then he just responds back, okay. I felt like such an idiota, an idiot. If you looked at the text thread, it looked like I was like an ex-girlfriend begging to get back with her boyfriend. And I just took a step back from this message and I realized like all I had to do was say, thank you for the opportunity, but I have a commitment that night, so I can't. Sorry, thank you. Boom. Like, you know, and once again, that would have been enough to say no, give context, and shut up. So ultimately, you know, we had a bit of an error, but it's fine. I give love and grace to myself, as you should too. But take these moments where you over-explain to realize how you could have just re-scripted the whole scenario and given less of yourself. Because the truth is, when you over-explain, you do show yourself in a weaker position. And if you show yourself in a weaker position to a good person, they'll just think of you as a little bit as insecure, potentially still, you know, figuring their way out in the world. But if you show yourself in a vulnerable way to a bad person or a manipulator, they'll see like, oh, what an easy target. I can pull on their strings. So this is something that for a people pleaser is one of the biggest hurdles between who you are now and who you want to become, is learning how to say no, give context, and shut up. I swear to God, this formula will save your life. So if you're a people pleaser who's looking to say no but having difficulties with it, click my free guide, Say No with Grace. It's in the link below.